Morning, teachers and students. It is my honor to introduce to you this term's new head prefect and second prefects, Alex, Desmond, and Kelvin. They will come up and talk to you, address you in a few minutes. I would just like to say a few words about prefects in general. As we go to school every morning and we see the prefects at work, it's easy for us to only think of them as one-dimensional creatures, as enforcers of discipline. But behind the uniform checks and behind the punishments, do remember that they are the same group of people who are the first to arrive and the last to leave at the inter-school competitions to lead you in cheers and to support you all in your competitions. They're also the ones who stay up all night at school to complete the inspiring handmade banners, and have to remind you that we are the only school that still does that. They are also the ones who organize many activities for you to enjoy the community and friendship of DBS boys. They are also the one who served the school in so many activities, from admission talks to assemblies to special occasions. The prefects are always the first group to be called to serve. So behind the visible exterior of authority lies a heart of sacrifice and service. They sacrifice their time and effort so that the school could be in good order and the DBS spirit could be passed from generation to generation. The word prefect, from Latin word prefectus, means to put in front or put in charge. Sometimes they are placed before you to represent the school. Sometimes they are placed beside you to watch over you. But make no mistake, we are fighting on the same side and we are on the same team. May the good Lord grant the prefects wisdom, patience, and perseverance to carry out their duties.
Thank you, Headmaster. Good morning, teachers and fellow students. It is an honor to stand on the stage today as the head prefect for the year. Alongside me is Desmond Ho, the second prefect of discipline, and Kelvin Zhang, the second prefect of activities. I would like to remind all senior boys, as being the role model for junior students, taking up the responsibility to be a well-behaved student is key, as you will influence the younger schoolmates. As for the junior students, respect and seek assistance if needed. As mentioned by Mr. Cho, brotherhood is a key element for the DBS spirit to pass on. We prefects are acting directly under the headmaster's instructions. It is my duty to maintain the order of the school. DBS is always changing. This year, with our new headmaster, Mr. Chang, we are to bring diocesans to newer heights. However, we should never forget the tradition passed on from our seniors. Mr. S.J. Lowcock once said, "Do not ask for what the school can do for you, but what you can do for the school." Our boys should always lend out a helping hand, giving assistance and aid to fellow schoolmates. With great power comes great responsibility. DBS is a place full of freedom, but freedom requires self-discipline, which is what the students nowadays are lacking. Responsibility is the price of freedom. We DBS boys wear the same tie, put on the same uniform. Together as one great family, we strive to put forward discipline within ourselves. Therefore, we should not misbehave in and out of school. As the leader of students, we are responsible to educate and teach them right from wrong. I hope the year 2013 will be a spectacular one for all of our boys. Secondary school life is a milestone for all of us. Cherish all the time remaining here, as time can't be bought back. Our mission is to maintain the freedom in the school, but on the other hand, maintain the school's order to a higher level. I wish you all to have a fruitful year, setting achievable goals. Thank you.
Good morning, Headmaster, teachers, and fellow schoolmates. I'm Desmond Hoyt of Grade 11P, the second prefect of discipline. It is obviously shown to the headmaster, the discipline committee, as well as prefects, that our boys are unfamiliar and unaware with the school rules. As a student in DBS, you must bear the responsibility to fully understand the school rules before enjoying the rights granted to you. Therefore, I would like to take this chance to recall you some basic requirements in the school rules. First things first, I would like to ask, how do you see the school uniform you are currently wearing now? To myself, I see it as the pride of being a DBS student. Many students have been mentioning about how they uphold DBS spirit over and over. Yet, they can't understand that the uniform is in fact part of the DBS spirit. It shows who we are and how we are united. It is ironic to see so many students proclaiming to be proponents of the diocesan spirit and at the same time breaking basic rules of uniform. To ensure you understand our stance, hereby are some rough guidelines to the uniform rules. Firstly, if your hair is not in its original color, I urge you to dye it back immediately. Secondly, button your collars, and I do not want to see any V-necked shirts. Thirdly, trousers that are not gray and not made of cotton are strictly prohibited. In addition, pointed and suede shoes must not be worn. Moreover, no one is allowed to wear wristbands of any color or material. Thick overcoats are not part of the normal dress code and can only be worn in addition to the school uniform when the cold weather warning is issued by the Hong Kong Observatory. In this case, the overcoat must be dark blue, black, or gray in color. Besides, the DBS 2-in-1 jacket is permitted. However, you are reminded that overcoats with hoods and school team jackets are strictly forbidden. Recently, I've come across controversies over the usage of mobile phones at the boundaries of the school campus. Some have argued that they were outside of the campus and thus have the right to use their mobile phones. Therefore, I would like to define clearly the boundaries of the campus to avoid any further controversies. If you have stepped inside the area behind the gate at the steps or the security guard stand at the drive, you are considered as inside the school campus. Students are not allowed to display or use their mobile phones inside the campus during school hours. Once caught on violating these rules, the mobile phone may be confiscated and will be handed up to the discipline committee for further treatment. As prefects, we often come across cases where students use ignorance and the lack of knowledge as an excuse for their improper behavior. We will not accept any excuses of this kind. If you have any inquiries over the school rules, refer to the school calendar or approach us prefects. If you are caught breaking any of the above-mentioned rules, don't argue with prefects, as this is the waste of both our time. We are not childish kids anymore. We are responsible secondary students, the best of the best. Act as a gentleman and accept the consequence. If you are part of DBS, prove it. Thank you, and wish you all a fruitful year to come.